folks, it's going on about 2 months now, give or take a little bit more, since I put up a video. I've had a lot going on here with work and other stuff going on, so it hasn't left me with a lot of time this summer to make videos. I do have some stuff lined up, I guess, the rest of the parts for the Trail Boss transmissions, so I can put those back together, the 6x6 amphibious vehicle. And I also picked up a Wisconsin twin-cylinder THD engine from an estate sale that I'd like to get going and do a repair and startup video on. So if time allows in between work, you guys will be seeing them videos getting put up. And if you notice, the video picture hopefully is a little bit clearer and a little bit more still. I finally ended up buying a new camera, so kind of excited to be making some better quality videos now. I get a little more zoom and it finally focuses in on stuff, so you don't have to see any up close blurry ID plates anymore for serial numbers. But anyways, I wanted to do a really quick overview on the GMC that I picked up that was in my last update video, just to kind of give you guys an idea on it, because I know some of you guys were looking at it and thought it was kind of a neat truck. But anyways, it's a 77 GMC Sierra K2500. It's just a real plain Jane model. There's nothing special about it, and that's fine with me. And it's in pretty darn good shape for the age too. It does have a Chevy grille on the front of it. I'm gonna have to see if I can locate a GMC one to stuff in there, but for the time being. And it's got the West Coast mirrors on it, which I do like. I might have to see if I can find some different ones, because the brackets on these things, they don't have the arms that come out or anything like that to keep them from vibrating around when you're driving, because I think someone just threw them on there quick. And the guy that owned this 2 owners ago used to drive it back and forth from New Hampshire to Colorado pulling a trailer, so it's definitely roadworthy. The paint job isn't the best, it's flaking off. I got a repaint a number of years ago that probably wasn't prepped really well, but aside from that, the underside of it is pretty darn solid. I don't know how easy it is to tell, but the frame has paint on it from front all the way to the back, because the guy that drove it from back and forth to Colorado used to spray it with oil every year, and I don't think it ever got driven in the wintertime. So it's in unbelievably good condition underneath. And that's one of the main reasons why I bought this truck, because as many of you know, most of the stuff out of the 70s and 80s is pretty crusty up here in New England. It does have the dual saddle tanks on each side of the bed, and they do work. The switcher valve and all that. Bed is in nice shape. Tailgate's a little warped, but not going to worry about that too much. But it's not all smashed up and dinged, and the worst part about it is in the corner over there, it's got a little bit of rot, but not all too worried. It did come with a rack, which I am going to leave on here, just so that way I don't smash through the back windshield if I'm loading up any tractors or anything like that. So I figured, what the heck, might as well leave it on there. Interior is very clean on it. It's got 74,800 miles. I've been driving it like crazy over the past 2 months since I got it. I ended up bringing this home, it was beginning of March. No, beginning of May, it got driven down here. It does have a 4-speed transmission. It's a standard SM465, which I really do like. I also rigged up my CB radio in here again, which I really only use those during the winter time, but if I'm going long distance, I do like to have them for the highway. It also has the old rifle racks in the back, which are definitely staying, although you can't carry a rifle in them. They are kind of neat being period correct on all that. Has the sliding rear windshield. It does need door panels. They're a little bit dried out and crispy, but they're all together. They're not cracked or anything like that. Bench seats in fair condition. And as you can see, I do have a radio box rigged up in here, because I have the original radio, or a aftermarket, because it's got the 8-track. I don't know if it's a GM one that would have came with the truck, but the radio fades in and out a lot. It's got the antenna in the windshield, so I'm gonna have to see about picking up another radio for it. That way I can stop using my radio box, because that's the only way that I can play my bluegrass music is if I have my FM transmitter plugged in there. And as for the engine and all that, it has a 350 V8. It's got the Edelbrock 500 CFM Quadrajet in it that somebody, see if I can open up the hood, that somebody had put into it, because the guy that used to go back and forth to Colorado juiced it up a little bit. It's got a mild cam in it, which I don't know what the specs would be or what it kind of determines, so I'm sure some of you will. I'll see if I can scan the paperwork and put it in the video here that came with a truck, and maybe one of you can tell me what it's got for a cam in it, Carburetor is going to have to get cleaned out and rebuilt because it's got a bit of a rough idle. Once you get over about 1300, it smooths out, but it's pretty choppy underneath that. I just haven't had time to do it. I am going to have to find another battery box because this one's rotted out. So once again, previous owner rigged all that up. And there's also a lot of botched wiring on this thing. Underneath the dash is pretty bad with all the gauges and everything. So that's going to have to get cleaned up, which he did add. As you can see here, I have a vacuum gauge, and this one lights up and it tells you how rich you're running. There's a little sensor that goes into the exhaust pipe, which I thought was kind of neat. Makes it a little easier to tune your carburetor, I suppose. I also did a new brake master cylinder and brake booster last week because that was leaking pretty bad, so that's all new. But I mean, as you can see, you can't beat the frame on it. And this did have the plow on the front of it, which has since been removed. I sold that to a friend of my father's because he was building the truck and needed it. So I just put the bumper guards back on there, and I'm happy as ever just the way it is. So I was definitely excited to get some wheels under my feet again and a good truck that I can go down the highway with, because I know my 88 one-ton just wasn't cutting it anymore. The 350 wasn't running great. Something's wrong with the injection, and I know the TH400 transmission has to get rebuilt again because it's slipping really bad. There's something definitely wrong with it. But this is the new summer driver. The one-ton's just going to be on the road in the wintertime, and this one will get parked and vice versa, rotate them through as the year goes. But anyways, folks, I just wanted to give you a quick update on where I've been and the new truck. And then with any luck, as time allows, there'll be some more videos coming soon. So anyways, there you have it.